client of mine, I hope you can still see me, but I was asked by a client of mine, do men have PMS? Amazing question. Yes. Short answer. Okay, end of the video. Have a great day. It's you, it's me, it's us. But no, my answer was definitely yes, men have PMS issues, or they have the offset behaviors that will display our version of PMS. And I was explaining that PMS for men is not blood and emotions or regularity. It's actually irregularity, physicality, and sweat equity, I would say, not like literal sweat. So irregularity, physicality, and sweat equity versus a woman is regularity, blood, and emotions. Okay, now that we spread that across the bread, let's eat. Men display these traits, characteristics through the physicality. So a lot of men, when they're not feeling up to snuff, when they are not feeling their spouse, when they're not feeling their financial, spiritual, emotional, psychological, physiological situations, they usually respond with their hands, whether that be violence, whether that be nurturing. They usually respond with their hands. A lot of men, they tend to work longer hours or work more so that they won't have to deal with the frustrations that they have to come home to. So if the frustrations is at home, a man finds his power in distance and silence. So that could be a PMS behavior from a man. He'll stay away from you. He'll stay away from the situation. Women interpret that as running. That's where you get the deadbeat dad and all of that concept from. But in all actuality, the man understands that his behavior and the cause and effect of his behavior will lend itself towards violence, will lend itself towards physicality. So he stays away, because most men in that physicality state, their hands become their greatest tool or their greatest weapon. Another PMS behavior of a man is gaslighting or being petty, whether it be the questions that he asks that might be condescending or rhetorical, or trying to expose a young lady or a young man to prove a point. These are PMS behaviors. A lot of our modern time period is exposing a lot of PMS behavior for men, because a lot of men were raised by single mothers, so they handle conflict like a woman. Their understanding of self-control is from the purview and perspective of a woman. So a lot of times men don't have the tools, and they didn't unlearn to relearn new resources so that they can deal with the different problems, so that they could deal with the challenges of keeping their discipline. Another form of PMS behavior for a man is tricking. And it ain't tricking if you got it. But just think about how men who can't get what they want off pure skill, they have to use a tool or a resource that they have in abundance. So there are some men out here that are broke as a joke, but they have great D. So they sling that D throughout the community so that they can find some fidelity in themselves, right? Men with a lot of money, they overcompensate by spending, tricking, right? Think about most of the PMS behaviors of a woman resolve around happiness, happenings, or receiving. So it's a lot of feeling involved. When she's not feeling important, she might act out for attention. When she's feeling cluttered, she might act out for space. So it's usually the PMS behavior from men and women. There's a cause, and then they need to create an immediate effect, and that immediate effect has to bring about some level of emotional or mood-bearing change. So that's just some of them. I mean, I'm out here with my dog real quick, but it was definitely a thought that was on my mind, a thought that I figured I would share. But yeah, most definitely men have PMS moments in irregularity, and they show it usually through physicality. They show it usually through their response or lack of response. They show it through distance, which in fact they're protecting themselves and protecting the other entity, whether that's a person, job. So be aware, gentlemen, of your own PMS behaviors. Try not to shut down, but shut in. Try not to distance yourself in silence, but distance yourself with great communication, great discipline. Because it is tough out here, right? The world is very triggering. You know, at any moment you can push somebody's buttons with the things that you say. So you have to find your equity. That's why I always say men need to go to the gym. You need to get that out. Women need to go to the gym too. You need to get that out. It's me. It's you. It's us.